And so basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through and find the different words used for giants. And once we know what the different words used for giants, we can look for them in other places and see what type of other interaction giants had. So now we'll look at the Anakim. Numbers 13, 27 through 33. So this is when they went to spy out the land. So they went to go to the promised land. Canaan sent to the promised land. Or they went to Canaan, the promised land, and God sent them. And Moses told them to spy out the land. So they're supposed to go and come back with a report about the land. And this is what they told him. They gave Moses this account. We went into the land which you sent us, and it does flow with milk and honey. Here is the fruit. But the people who live there are powerful, and the cities are fortified and very large. So Moses told them to go and, bring back the fruit, and his intent was they can show everybody how great it was. But the people, they came back. They weren't supposed to give their opinion on whether we could fight them or any of that, but they came back and said, yeah, here's the fruit, it's good, but the people are powerful and very large. We even saw descendants of Anak there. So they saw descendants of Anak there. Then they say the Amalekites live in Negev, the Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country, and the Canaanites live in the sea, along with Jordan. So they say they saw the descendants of Anak, and then they go on to list these other peoples who were Canaanites. It says, then Caleb silenced the people before Moses. We should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it. But the men who had gone up with him said, we can't attack those people. They're stronger than we are. And they spread among the Israelites a bad report about the land they had explored. They said, the land we explored devours those living in it. All the people we saw are of great size. So they said all of the people were of great size. So that includes the sons of Anak, the Amalekites, the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites. All the people we saw of great size, we saw Nephilim there. So the Nephilim, the children of the angels and the humans, they saw them there. So this is after the flood. They saw them there. And then it says, the descendants of Anak come from Nephilim. Mm-hmm. So the children of Anak are Nephilim. So the children of Anak are giants. We seem like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we look the same to them. Mm-hmm. So the descendants of Anak are giants, and they are Nephilim. So when they said earlier the descendants of Anak, they assumed that people knew they were talking about giants. So the descendants of Anak, who are also descendants of the Nephilim, are a giant race. So since they're a race, they're referred to as Anakim, but they're also referred to in some places as Anakites. So usually the nations are referred to as ites, beings are referred to with the I-M, the M, but so the Anakites are referred to as both within even the same version. Sometimes it's Anakim, sometimes it's Anakites, but it's the same people. Now we're going to look at another group, the Rephaim. You have Deuteronomy 2, 10 to 11.
Yeah. The Emites used to live there, a people strong and numerous, and all as tall as the Anakites. Like the Anakites, they too were considered what was the word? Rephites?
Rephites.
But the Moabites called them Emites.
Yeah, so there are a lot of ites in that, in those two verses. So the Emites used to live there. So the Emites are as tall as the Anakites. So the Emites are giants. It says, like the Anakites, they too are considered Rephaites, or some versions say Rephaim. So they're saying the Anakites are considered Rephaim, and the Emites are also considered Rephaim. And so that means that you had the Nephilim. So the Raphaim were between the Nephilim and the Anakites. So the Raphites were first, and then the descendants of the Raphite, one of the descendants of the Raphites was Enoch. And so Moses, they led campaigns. So the campaigns where God sent them out destroying these cities, Moses and Joshua, the primary reason was to clear the land for them, but also to destroy all the giants that were in the land. So let's see, do you have Joshua 11:21 and 23?
At that time, Joshua went and destroyed the Anakites from the hill country.
And who were the Anakites? They were giants.
They were
Huge.
giants.
Okay.
But you just said from where? And I just,
Oh yeah, from Enoch.
from Hebron, Deber, and Anab, from all the hill country of Judah, and from the hill country of Israel. Joshua totally destroyed them in their towns. No Anakites were left in Israelite territory, only in Gaza, Gath, and Ashdod. And Ashdod did any survive. So Joshua took the entire land just as the Lord had directed Moses, and he gave it as an inheritance to Israel, according to the tribal division. Then the land had rest from war.
Okay. So we see that God's goal was to wipe out the Anakim, the giants. So Joshua, he wiped out all the giants in the land. So he wiped out all the giants that were in the promised land in Israel. It says, except only ones remained were in Gaza, Gath, and Ashdod.
All three of those Philistine towns, or just two of them?
All three of them
All three?
are Philistine towns. So they're Philistine towns, so they aren't in Canaan.
Yeah.
So he destroyed all the giants in Canaan, but 3 lands in the Philistine town still had giants. Do you know of any giants in Philistine?
Maybe thinking of one in particular. Shows up in Samuel.
So, all right, so 1 Samuel 17:3-4. The Philistines occupied one hill, and the Israelites another, with the city between them. A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. So Goliath was a Philistine from Gath. Gath was one of the 3 cities that is said that the Anakim remained. So Gath was an Anakim. Goliath. Goliath was an Anakim.
He wasn't as big as the other.
He wasn't as big as Og.
No.
He was 9 feet 9 inches tall.
Yeah.
Right. So Goliath was one of the Anakim. So Joshua and Moses killed all the Anakim in Canaan, and now there were still Philistine Anakim or giants left, and David fought those. And so we'll see David also utterly destroyed places, killing men, women, and children, and so he was also killing giant nations. So in conclusion, in Noah's day, the earth had been polluted with angelic beings who decided to leave their home in the spirit realm and come to the earth and marry human women. Their offspring they created were giants called Nephilim. God sent a flood to cleanse the earth of these giants. After the flood, the Nephilim were still on the earth. So God chose a different means to eliminate them from the earth this time. So God used Moses, Joshua, and David to lead Israelite armies to utterly destroy these giants and their offspring by killing the men, women, and children of these intermingled Nephilim giant nations. So although the utter destruction of the other nations served other purposes of bringing honor to God and killing those who worship other gods, we see that the main reason for these wars was to destroy the giants from the earth. Even though other Canaanite peoples remained in Canaan, God did not command that they be utterly destroyed, showing that the primary goal of the other destruction was the elimination of the giant and their offspring.